Hi guys, in this video I am at Montech's booth and now we are going to look at these cases, small cases. It's called Open Frame Chassis, which obviously is open, but what I like is that it's quite compact. So let's get into the details right now. Before that, this video is brought to you by GoFry's. GoFry's coverage of Computex 2023 is 100% self-funded. If you appreciate the coverage by GoFry's, please help me out by sharing the content you like and of course, subscribe to the channel if you haven't. So let's start with the smallest one over here. As you can see, there is a handle, quite heavy, and it's actually, I think it's tight inside. It's actually quite heavy, and you can see a Montech SFX power supply over here. So it's just a power supply and a motherboard over here. Moving on to the next one. This one looks a bit more expanded. You see there's an upper cover over here, there's a front cover over this side, but essentially it's still essentially of the same configuration. A motherboard with a small form factor or SFX power supply at the rear. Moving over to this one, now it gets a bit bigger while still maintaining open frame size. You can see that this one again has a top, has a bottom part, but now it comes with a graphics card. At the rear again, you can look at all three of them. They are of the similar configuration, just that this one is actually raised upwards because it is accommodating a graphics card. And last one is as if this is going stage by stage of upgrading. So this one has pretty much the same thing again, except that the paint, this one look like powder coated. This one could be powder coated too, but it's on the softer glossy look. And what's more important is that if you look at them side by side, they're essentially the same configuration with a graphics card. But what makes this one different is that the power supply is rested at the bottom over here. The power supply is rested at the bottom, and there is an AIO. So basically 4 configurations I see here, and there's one more over there. So let's look at this one again. ITX board with an AIO, power supply laid horizontal, and the graphics card over here. Then moving forward to this one, lesser things and less and less, and over here we get to see the view from the rear, of which when there's no motherboard or anything mounted. So the one with the AIO is like this one, mounted with a fan towards the top, and then the graphics card with a PCIe riser, which will go onto the motherboard, and then of course with the rest of the thing like the AIO. So maybe you should just walk around and have a look at what's inside over there. There you go. Right, so over here we get to see again the difference from the starting one that I showed you earlier, which is the smallest one. I can't move it much, so we just I cannot lift it up or move it much because it's tight. It has a power cable over here, but nevertheless this is what it's like with the similar setup. And then again raised, but this time with the graphics card. So you can see the motherboard, while this one the motherboard is on the lower side, right? This one the motherboard is raised above the power supply, and then there's a graphics card. Same for this one, the motherboard is raised, and then the power supply is on the horizontal level, and then there's a 240mm AIO. So yeah, that's pretty much it. This is what I found interesting at Montech's booth. Their open frame chassis with these various configurations. Well, you might not like it. Personally, I'm not an open frame design case kind of person. I prefer my PC cases in a box and with where you can control the airflow and such. Well, maybe for this side you can put a table fan, whatever it is. Some of you might actually like this kind of look. Alright, so that's it from this one from GoFry's here at Montech's booth.